everyone. How are you all doing tonight? Hopefully everyone's having a good evening. I thought we could get on here and just do some cards again tonight, have some fun. I decided maybe I would do something with the Butterfly Gala set to start with, and then if anyone else has any other suggestions of what to pair with it, colors or anything like that, we can do that. I'm gonna pull up my page so I can make sure you all are, or I'm seeing exactly what you are seeing. If it'll pull up, Facebook's being a little crazy. But this stamp set is fantastic because it goes with the Butterfly Duet Punch. Now this punch is currently a free item during For Sale-Aration. So I think that's fantastic. All right, let's just restart Facebook because it's not going to cooperate with me right now. I know it has been giving other people some fits lately too, and it's probably because we're all trying to be on here at the same time. I'm going to assume that's what it is anyway, because we're all being definitely more social on social internet than we have been. So I thought maybe we'd start with this stamp set. I don't even know what I want to do with it yet. I just kind of have an idea of maybe using it with the stitched So Sweetly dies, because I think these would make some fun layers and we could do some really pretty butterflies maybe and punch them out. And so if anyone has any suggestions, let me know. I'm going to get some blocks and we can get started. Throw out some ink colors. Give me some ideas of colors that you think would look good together, and I'll go with it. I really like the idea of Calypso Coral maybe, so Saffron, Mint Macaron together. I think those are some pretty colors. Those are just my suggestions, but if anyone else has other ones, that would be great too. Now, if you haven't seen this stamp set, one thing that is fantastic about it is our butterflies come together. So when you stamp them, then you can punch them out as well. So let's get a couple of them on here. I mean, we might as well put them all on blocks, right? Because we're probably going to use them. We're going to layer a lot of butterflies on this card. It's going to be kind of probably ridiculous, because why not? Let's have some fun with it. Hi, Lisa Marie. How are you? I know you're getting ready to do a video at some point tonight as well. Not sure what time you are going online, but I appreciate you joining me. So I say we're not even going to pick a sentiment yet or anything I'm not going to do the stamps to color them in yet. I say let's just get some Whisper White and start stamping, and then we can color them in as we go. Now, here is the other question. Do we want to stamp more than one of each or just one of each? It's so hard to decide when I'm trying to do this, and I know not everyone's on here yet, and that's okay. Hopefully everyone will get a chance to pop on and help me decide on some of this. Now this one, I'm not sure how this is going to stamp, so let's see once I get it inked. So that one I probably should have used a different color with instead of the Memento. Note to self, we're going to clean that one and stamp it in a different color, because it's just not going to fill in nicely with the other stamps. Get the chamois out. If you don't have a chamois, you need a chamois. The chamois are the best. They are fantastic. I know that there are not green butterflies, so we won't use the Mint Macaron for our butterflies. But maybe we could use Calypso Coral, So Saffron. Those would be cute, pretty colors for the butterflies, I think. Let me find my So Saffron. So Saffron. You can see until this runs out, I'm not getting rid of my old pad. Once it runs out, then I'll open I actually have a new one. I just haven't opened it yet. Flirty Flamingo might be pretty too. Maybe Coastal Cabana. Those colors are kind of pretty together. I don't know. Should I stick with two different orangey-ish colors. Maybe I'll take Calypso Coral out and we'll do these three. We'll see what we got. Now, of course, I need to remove a butterfly because I don't have enough blocks sitting right here. So then we can just get that solid image that I want to fill the butterflies in with on here. Which one was this? This was that one. All right, let's see. So we've got the wings. We've got the tiny little butterfly. And then the bottom pieces. Now I might have to do the bottom piece on a separate, but that's okay because then we can do different colors, right? We don't have to do the same color on each one. Let's just put these all on separate blocks. That'll work. I have been playing with the brand new Ornate Garden set today, and that is a set that is going to be available on April 1st. I am planning, my April class is all to go class because I'm not going to be having people come to my house or wanting people to travel because we're all trying to social distance anyway. So I figured it would be a good idea to just make my April regular card class as a to-go class. And so I figured that would be what I would do is the brand new Ornate Garden Suite, and that's going to be available. Look how pretty that butterfly is. He's going to be gorgeous when he's all done. I'm going to go ahead and do him all in Calypso Coral. Okay, there's something on this stamp that's not letting it fill in a piece of fuzz or something. So let's clean it off and make sure we get it inked up well. So pretty. Look how pretty that Calypso Coral butterfly is. I love him. He's gorgeous. And then we'll fill in, I don't know why I just put that away because we're going to have to fill in our other butterflies as well. We need this chamois until we are done because all these butterflies are going to be different colors. We've already made that decision. All right, Calypso Coral, we can set that one aside. We can do some So Saffron. Our next little group of butterflies will be So Saffron butterflies. So pretty. Now, the next question, and the next thing I need to figure out is how we want to do our background using these Stitch So Sweetly dies. So keep that in mind because we'll be coming to that soon. I don't know what you all have been up to today. I have been, like I said, working on planning a class, but also catching up on laundry. Oh my gosh, you would think I would already have it all caught up, but no, it's like never ending. Laundry is never, ever ending. And because I don't want to say I'm a germaphobe because that's not the word. I'm not a germaphobe, but I like to make sure everything is clean. Anyway, so even my kitchen towels, like normally that I would use for a couple days to dry hands on, like every day, like they're getting thrown in the dirty clothes. So I have to obviously wash them more often. So I definitely have a little bit more laundry right now because I'm being a little bit, I guess, paranoid. I don't know. But I have a weakened immune system and I don't want to get sick. So I'm just making sure that we don't get sick. All right, even though this one has a lot of memento on it, I'm just gonna grab another color, maybe something purplish, maybe Highland Heather. Let's try Highland Heather and see how that looks. And if it still doesn't look okay, then we'll stamp the whole butterfly in Highland Heather and try it that way. We don't need this part. We're gonna need the top wings. And then we'll need to do the little butterfly. I don't think I really like how that looks. So maybe we'll do it. We'll do the entire butterfly, which where is he at? I think I took him off the block. So we're gonna have to grab him and put him back on the block. He's off the chopping block, so to speak, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we'll do him in just purple posy and see how cute he is. Oh, he's adorable. He's really cute. He could be left just like that. I don't think we even need to color that one in. And then if we decide we don't want to use it later, we can do something different. I'm not even sure how many butterflies we need for this card, so I almost feel like maybe I better stamp a couple of more. Maybe so I have 2 of everything, just so we have plenty. Because whatever we have left over, I can always use for other cards anyway. Because right now I feel like I have been on a card making rampage. I don't know about anyone else, but it's like there are so much time, extra time. I say extra time, even though this is, but without having people in my house for classes, and just my dad was visiting and he left. So like the last couple of days, it's like, wow, I have like some extra time on my hands. What's going on here? Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed having my dad here. We had a great time. We did a lot of visiting and it was fun and it was good to see him. I hadn't seen him in a while, so it's always nice to see him. But after he left, it was almost like, okay, wow, staying at home. You can't go a lot of places, so it's not like I'm going out doing any shopping or anything like that. Not that I do a ton of that anyway, but it always feels like there's always something or someplace we need to go, something we need to do. All right, so I'm going to mix it up a little bit and change up my butterflies. So instead of making the monarch calypso coral like this one, I went ahead and switched it to this other cute little butterfly here. So are you finding that you have more or less time these past week or two? Put it in the comments. If you have more time, obviously say more and do like a big heart or something. And if you have less time, because now your kids are home, or maybe just things are a little bit crazier for you because working from home is more difficult. That's another thing for a lot of people now. With them being home, it's harder to work from home, I think. And a lot of people having to make that switch has been difficult for them, especially with their kids, because it's, you know, it's hard to do your work when your kids, because they are around, because they want your attention. And I mean, that's kids. They want your attention anyway. So, and they are used to when you are home, that your attention is on them. I got that one a little bit crooked, but it's not too bad. I'm sitting way back over here. Maybe I should stand up to make sure I get it on there right. There we go. Perfect. All right, so I'm sure you've noticed I'm coming on a little bit later tonight. I had a poll that I put out just because I wanted to see where people were with the time that I was coming on, if you needed me to come on later, if that was easier. And the people that voted for the later time. So I'm like, we'll give it a shot and see what happens. Although when I started this live video, I was going to try to share it to my VIP group at the same time. And for some reason, I totally forgot all about that. So Lisa Marie, if you could share this with my VIP group, that would be amazing. I'm not sure I feel like you can, but I don't know. It would be awesome if you could, so they could all join in on this and not get it later, since I can't change my settings now that I've already started. Okay, so I think the first thing I'm gonna wanna do is cut these in strips, and now I could use my paper cutter, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use my scissors, because when these go in your punch, you wanna be able to feed them in when you're looking at them like this. So that way you can see where you are at. And I've just realized I haven't stamped any bodies on these. So we will stamp our bodies, then we will punch. So let's grab that memento again. And now the fun thing is there are wider bodies for the bigger butterflies and smaller bodies for the little butterflies. I say fun, but I don't know if that's the word I want to use or not. Hi, Linda. How are you? Hope you're having a great evening. We'll just get all these little bodies stamped first, and then we'll go back and do the bigger bodies. I'm not worrying about the antennas because I don't think we need to worry about those. They aren't going to be, they don't get punched out anyway, so there's really no point. So now that we are all obviously at home more, I don't really need to do that one, but since I inked it, we'll do them anyway. Have you been cooking more? I noticed I cooked more when my dad was here, which makes sense because I had company. My dad left 2 days ago, and I haven't cooked anything since. It's been all super easy. Yes, Linda, I have made so many cards too. I really have. I've just been making a lot more cards, and now I need to definitely make sure I mail them. I want to make sure I don't lick my envelopes though. I want to make sure I just use like my aqua painter or a sponge to wet the adhesive on the envelopes, or use tape to close them, just because I figure it's probably not a good idea to be spreading our saliva around. Not that I'm sick, but again, this coronavirus, you don't know you're sick until it's too late. You've already infected people. All right. So there's our first set of So Saffron butterflies. See how fun that is? They just punch out together on this. I love this punch. Maybe I should have did my bodies later because I went up a little too high on them, but that's all right. We're going to leave them there. Going to be adorable when we get them done. They're going to be so cute. So once you punch one, then you just go ahead and just trim that bottom off and move on to your next one. Adorable, adorable little butterflies. The more we have, the better. We're going to make this card full of butterflies. Now that I have this piece like this, it's not going to quite go in. So I want to show you a little trick that I like to do. And you can just take a little piece of a Post-it note or a sticky note, whatever you want to call them. Hook it to your paper. Now you have something that you can hang on to get it in there the way you want it. So now that you've got it in there the way you want it, you just move it around so then you can punch your butterflies. And then if you've punched a little piece off, that's okay. Obviously, you can just reuse this until there's no sticky left on it. So, helpful hint from Val today. How to use a sticky note to guide something in your punches. And we'll have to use it again because this is going to be the same situation. We'll just stick it right on the top again. And obviously you could use an entire sticky note if you want to, but I don't see any point in wasting a whole sticky note just for this. That's why I just always cut a little piece off. Have you ever done that before? Have you ever used a sticky note for something like that? Or is that something that's new? All right, so let's make some kind of little, I kind of want to do a little frame or something out of these fun dies. Because I'm thinking we could have our butterflies coming out of our little framed scallop somehow. I don't want it to be a super thick frame, but I think maybe that would be good if we used those two. And I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, what do y'all think? I want to do something neutral because I want maybe probably a Whisper White background for this card because I think that would be pretty. Because I might even run something through an embossing folder with it, but do we want a Whisper White frame as well? Do we want it all to be Whisper White except for our butterflies? I think that might be kind of pretty. So let's get a piece of this cut off using the paper trimmer. Let's measure this. So it needs to be about just a little over 4 inches. So we're gonna cut it this way first. So we'll do 4 1/4. We'll just cut it right down center. And then that'll be easier when we run it through the Big Shot. We just have that right down center because now this will fit this way. And then we can add our other piece on. Now, because I kind of am, obviously I want to do this as a frame and I want to make sure it stays, I am going to use some washi tape on this. I normally don't use washi tape unless I'm doing something like this. And the reason I don't is because after I run it through, I feel like my washi tape is super duper stuck to the die. And it just kind of leaves it really sticky, and I don't really like that. But I only do it when I'm doing something like this where I want to make sure my frame is even. And I have my Big Shot off to the side tonight, so I'm not going to pull it in camera view while I'm running it through. But you will definitely hear me running it through. If you are here, just joined, let me know you're here, say hi. We are making a super cute little butterfly card using the Butterfly Duet Punch. The Stitched So Sweetly dies. We've got everything is stuck together here with our washi tape. All right, look, I shouldn't have pulled that off quite so fast because I could have used that for something, and now it's got a little ding on it, so I might not be using that for anything. All right, but our little frame is really cute because it's got that scallop in the center, we've got the stitch, and then we've got the scallop on the outside. So I think that turned out really cute for that frame. I'm just gonna set these aside because we don't need these right now. Actually, I should probably put them back in here or I will end up dropping them on the floor or something, and that will be a total mess. Hi Jen, how are you? Hope you're having a good evening. All right, now that we have that, let's get a piece of, I still want to do Whisper White for the card base, I think. I think that'll still be good. Let me see if I have any already pre-cut or if we need to cut one. We may need to cut one. I think I've used all my bases lately because I have been making, so like I said, I've been making a lot of cards. All right, now when I do a Whisper White base, I like to use the Whisper White thick. And I always like to score it first. So that's your, if you have one of our trimmers, it's the lighter blade, the gray blade to score. And then the darker blade is your cutting blade. All right, so there's our base. Now the question remains, do we need something? I mean, obviously this, but now I'm almost thinking we definitely need some more color on here. So maybe we could use one of these colors as a background behind this, maybe something run through an embossing folder. Any suggestions for an embossing folder that would look good with these butterflies? Because I'm thinking we will do, I've done so many thank you cards lately. Okay, I need to do something different. So maybe the Hello Beautiful or the Good Things in Life Are Better With You in it. Let's see. Or maybe I should just go with another neutral color behind it. So that way we don't even have to worry about anything matching. We could do Sahara Sand. This piece, look, this piece is already cut. Purple Posy. Oh, Purple Posy might be pretty, Linda. That's good. That would be pretty behind it. Oh, that would be really pretty. That actually looks really pretty with those. All right, let's cut this And then maybe run it through a folder just so it has some texture to it. Maybe just the subtle folder, just because that's obviously very subtle. Make this 5 1/4. So we could try them both. We could see this one's a little bit smaller. The Sahara sand. Let me cut a piece of Sahara sand this same size, and then we'll look and see what they both look like once we get them on there. Because I'm just cutting these at 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then we can just see, whoops, that wasn't the cutting side. All right, let me grab my subtle folder. It might even be over here. I don't know. I've got so many things by my desk right now. I'm sure you all do too. But of course, subtle folder was not one of them, so I had to run and grab it. And I don't think I have my... So if you haven't seen the subtle folder, this is the subtle folder. It just does a nice little texture on there. It's fantastic. I love it. All right, let's get that run through and see what we come up with. We'll do both of these pieces so that way we can see the difference, which one we like better. I have a feeling we're gonna like them both. So we were talking about cooking earlier and whether or not we have cooked more or less since this all began. My dad was here, so I definitely cooked more for a while. Right now, not cooking as much. But what is your favorite thing that you have cooked lately that just you were like, wow, I haven't had this in a while, or wow, this just tastes fantastic today? Any good recipes? Because we could all definitely use some of those right now. I had to go grab a couple of things earlier. Between yesterday and today, it's the most I've been out. So grabbed a couple of things, came home, and then I was like, I'm really too tired. Not even gonna cook. Had a sandwich, which was fine. It was delicious. Don't get me wrong. It was a delicious sandwich. But it just like after you buy all this stuff to cook and then you come home and like, yeah, no. All right, so we have the Purple Posy, which I may actually still put some Whisper White in behind this. Not this stitched piece, but just a plain piece of Whisper White in there because I kind of want the center to be white where the sentiment is going to be. Or we have the neutral Sahara sand. And then we can add our butterflies onto that. So what do you all think? Which one? The Sahara sand or the Purple Posy? I'm kind of thinking right now for me, the Purple Posy is definitely sticking out. I kind of like it. I just want to measure this to make sure my piece of Whisper White that I'm going to put underneath. So if I do a 3.5 by 2.5, it will fit under there nicely. So we can actually get the mini paper cutter for that because I have some Whisper White here. Yeah, I think you're right, Jen. I think the Purple Posy does look better. We can save that other piece for something else, but we'll put that there. But I want some Whisper White in the middle. And we want it to be 3.5 by 2.5. So we'll go with our 2.5 first. And then we'll get 3.5. If you don't have this mini cutter, you need to get it. The best way to get it is to, well, the only way to get it, since you're on my page right now, is to join my team. So if you're watching and you have not joined Stampin' Up! And you really would like to join a team, I would love to have you on my team. I'm just going to put a little bit of snail on the back of that. Actually, I'm not even gonna do that yet. Nope. let's go ahead and put this on here. Hi Lois, how are you? We'll add this piece on first. And then I really want our butterflies to just be coming out from this. So I think I'll put dimensionals on this. Let's see, where are all my dimensionals, ladies and gentlemen? I have a few pieces here. We're going to be going with pieces to start with. And that's just fine. I just want to make sure my corners don't sag. So we'll get some in the corners. Obviously, we're going to need some in the middle too, or in the centers of the sides anyway. Not really the middle. All right. We'll take the backings off from these, and then we'll stick that other piece of Whisper White, I think, right in the center. I haven't decided if I want to stamp my sentiment directly on that yet, or if we're going to do a little raised up piece maybe. Because if I stick it on there, it's not going to stamp as well as if I stamped it first, and I want to make sure this stays centered. Now I could have done this probably a lot easier if I had used my rectangle stitch dies with this. We could have cut out just a rectangle of the purple posy. But because I did not do that, we're doing it this way. We're going to layer it up like this. And then we've got our little frame. I want to make sure I have got to stand up. My eyeballs are like going cross-eyed on me right here. Want to make sure I get that straight. How's it looking? What do you think, everybody? I think it looks kind of cute like that. What a cute little frame. All right, so for our butterflies, because I stamped the bodies, I might have to cut a couple of little pieces off here and there. Not a huge deal. It'll be all right. We're just going to pretend. I'm going to kind of try to form all the butterflies just a little bit, just so they're folded just a little bit before we put them on. And now, of course, I definitely want to use the smaller ones too. But I was getting ready to punch these earlier. I don't know if y'all were all on here at the time. I was getting ready to punch them, and I was like, oh no, I didn't stamp their bodies. So I went back to stamp the bodies, and I did them, but I should have punched them first, then stamped the bodies, because then their bodies would have been more even with the way I punched them. More even with the punch, instead of having a little white tail at the end of each one of them, because I stamped their bodies a little wonky. Live and learn. All right, so I am just going to take, I think FaceTime may have kicked me off. Oh, there we go. Now it restarted. Okay, there we go. Yes, Jen, I just saw your question there about the washi tape. I did use the washi tape to keep the frames in place. And now the butterflies, I am just randomly putting them on here. I need to figure out where we're going to put our... And then, there's no stamp set in there, Val. It's over here. I wanted to put the good things in life are better with you. And I'm thinking we're going to have to put it on another little sheet of paper and cut it out or something. So I'm going to get that on a block. And then should we do it in a color? What do you think? Or should we just do it in Memento? And then obviously it's going to be on this side because I've got most of my butterflies over there. And should we punch it out with a circle? I don't know. We'll figure this out as we go. We don't want all of the same color butterflies together. Add our little ones in here. let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment real quick and then figure out how big that is going to be, because if we punch it out with a circle or cut it out, we can do it either way. I'm gonna stamp it twice. And I think Facebook definitely froze for a minute there on us. So I apologize. I apologize for Facebook. That doesn't make any sense because nothing I can do about that, right? All right, Starburst is too big. We'll try a circle punch. All right, this is the 1 3/4 circle punch. I don't think we even sell this one anymore, but I feel like that, or should we do it in Purple Posy and have it popped up? We've got so many options. Let's grab that scrap of Purple Posy that I just had, and we'll see what we can, how it will look with that. Okay, where did I put the sentiment after I just used it? It's lost behind my other pieces over here. All right, make sure it's inked good. Oh, it might be prettier with the Purple Posy or one of the other colors even. We can always add a different color. We don't even have to stick with Purple Posy. But it looks kind of pretty with Purple Posy. What do y'all think with Purple Posy right there? I kind of like it. I'm just going to set it there for now so we don't go too close with our butterflies. I'm going to end up getting everything stuck together here. Look, I have just enough dimensionals that we can stick that on there. We can add a little bit of snail around this corner so it'll stick to the frame. And I want to make sure that frame still shows on the edge there, so perfect. I love how this is turning out. It's so cute. These butterflies are fantastic. I feel like I need one of these flirty flamingo butterflies over here. Because it's just adorable. I don't know, these Purple Posy ones, I'm not sure if I need all of them on there because we do have a lot of Purple Posy going on. I don't know if we need all of the big ones either, just because there's a lot of big ones on here. Let's see what we've got here. We still have I will do at least one more small Purple Posy one because I can. Oh, I absolutely love these butterflies. I always forget how much I love the butterfly punch and how pretty these butterflies look when they are punched out until I get back and use this set again. It's almost like I want to put butterflies on butterflies, and I think I'm going to. I'm going to put butterflies on top of butterflies because we can. And then we have one more little one. Love how that turned out. Look at all those butterflies on there. That is fantastic. I think that's great. I'm gonna add, we need to add a little bling to it. Let's find some bling. That would be cute with this. We could add some pearls. I think pearls might be really pretty actually. Maybe just a couple of pearls, basic pearls. You can never get enough of basic pearls. So let's add in some little basic pearls here and there. All different sizes too, not just all the tiniest ones. We need some different sizes. but definitely some tiny ones, right? You still have to get the tiny ones in there. Oh no, what do y'all think? Look at how cute that is. I absolutely love how this card turned out. I am so happy that we did this card. It just turned out really adorable. Love that. So that was the Butterfly Duet Punch and the Butterfly Gala stamp set. And we paired it with the Stitched So Sweetly dies. That turned out super cute. All right, let's just set that card right there to the side. We've got a couple extra butterflies. We can actually, I don't know if that would be too many if I threw more on there or not. Would it be too many, or would it just be even cuter if I just added more in there? What do you all think? Just add more butterflies. Butterflies everywhere. Oh no, it's kind of cute with extra butterflies on there. That's kind of pretty like that too. We'll leave it like that for now. And then maybe I'll add some more in later. But there's one card. All right, any suggestions for another stamp set that anyone has been wanting to use? I'm gonna clean these stamps real quick so we can use these blocks again. We'll do something else. Get some more cute cards made. Is there anything that you all have been wanting to see that hasn't been used lately that you want some ideas for? Go ahead and give me some suggestions if you have any. I think that was all of them. We're just going to get them all back on the sheet so then we can start fresh with something else. I think that turned out really cute. I'm pretty proud of us. We did a good job, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. I was like, I didn't know why this stamp was on the other side. It should have been on this side. Don't know why it was on the other side. It was probably one of those, I put it away quick. And since I don't have another table right next to me that I can just throw all this onto and get ready to start another card, I figure we'd better get this stuff put away or we're never going to have room. I say put away. It's going to go in a cart, but at least it won't be right in front of me on the table here. Tiny little butterfly that we used, and we have one more body somewhere. There it is. All right, perfect. All right, any suggestions for the next card? Any stamp sets that you would like to see used that you haven't seen anything made with in a while? Otherwise, I am just going to look on my shelf and I'm going to just randomly pick something, because I have been wanting to do this, just kind of go with the flow, not plan my cards ahead of time, just kind of go with the flow and do something. I'm feeling like maybe we should do some embossing, maybe some watercoloring or something. That might be good. What stamp set would be cute for some watercoloring? Maybe Beautiful Promenade. I haven't used this one in a while. Let's use this one. And let's do something, I want to say, because I was using Sahara Sand, let's do Sahara Sand, because that was really be very pretty, because we've already got a piece we can use kind of as a background. And then maybe we can cut this piece down and then stamp on this one. All right, put our butterfly card over here so it's out of the way. And I'm going to cut this one down just a little bit. Grab that mini trimmer that I just used, because we are going to do some watercoloring on this. Let's make it at least 3.5. And of course I can't do, that's probably 5 1/4. So we'll just take a little bit off, make it about 3.5 by 5. All right. Trying to use up some of the things that we played with earlier. Why not? That'll make it easier on us. Now, of course, I got to clean off my my tray that has all of my embossing supplies on it, because It's covered in stuff right now. All right. I think I want to use white embossing powder, and what I have here is copper. Let me see if I have some white on the table or if I need to go. Oh, good. We have white right here. Yay! We have white, so we can do that right here with the white. And I always like to throw a piece of paper down because it makes it easier for cleanup. And we're going to need our Versamark. We're going to need probably this, at least this floral image. Maybe we'll add in, let's see what else we have here. I guess we could do that a couple of times. We could do the leaves. I don't know if, I say we just try to do that flower a couple of times and see what we get. Unless, let me see if I have another image that has more flowers all together. That might be a little bit easier to use. Let's see. I have these ones, the Bloom and Grow stamp set. Those might be kind of pretty to watercolor on there. No, let's stick with the Promenade. I like that one better. That's what we're going to go with. We've already got everything right here anyway. All right, so on our piece of Sahara sand, what we're going to want to do is you definitely always want to use your embossing buddy, which is your little powder-filled tool there that you rub it over your, we're going to do half on, half off. Rub it over your image because you want the static to go away. And that is the best way to get that static off, or keep the static off the rest of your cardstock. That's kind of pretty. I think that'll work. We're going to grab the heat tool and then we will heat that up. I'm just going to get this all poured back in here so we don't end up with embossing powder everywhere. That's one of the reasons I use the paper underneath, because it makes the cleanup a lot easier. And then we can just move this over to the side, which means on the floor behind me, because that's where it's going right now. And then I don't think I want to stamp the sentiment and heat emboss it, so I'm just going to bring this back over. We'll get the heat tool. And of course, we got to let that heat up just for a few seconds before you start. I'm not sure how familiar you all are with heat embossing, but definitely if your heat tool is hotter, it's definitely better. But it can also burn you, so make sure you hold your paper down with something other than your fingers. And what this is doing is that is melting that embossing powder. And as you can see, what it looks like, it's different. As it melts it takes away that grainy look, and you get that nice, smooth, embossed look. And then from there, you can use that embossing as a border for your watercoloring, which is what we're gonna do, because I think that would be super fun. Why not? Let's just do a little bit of watercoloring. I haven't done that in a couple of days anyway. All right, we'll grab a paper towel, which I had some here that I moved that I had been using. Let me find them. There we are. And the only reason I'm using these is that I can just get the water off from my aqua painter with it. Makes it so much easier. I have something to get that water off on. All right, let's go with something super simple. I actually kind of think crushed curry would be pretty. Crushed curry might be pretty with this. And also we had So Saffron out, so we could use that as well. Got to get my butterfly card out of the way because it's sitting. So all you're going to want to do, and I'm just going to use these 2 little blocks. Take 1 block with one of your colors and just dip it in that ink pad. That's the ink we're going to use for our watercoloring. And then I'll dip it in that So Saffron so we can have just a couple of colors and see how it turns out. Now, this is something I had happened to see a while back. It was on Pinterest and someone had done something similar to this. And I don't remember who it was, so I apologize. This is not an original idea. But it just popped into my head as we were doing the butterfly video that, oh yeah, I kind of wanted to try that technique. So let's see how it turns out. So you want to make sure your aqua brush is wet. So just squeeze out some of that water to make sure the brush tip is wet. And you can dry a little bit off if you don't want it to be super wet. Now this is Pear Pizzazz that I just got. So we're going to use a little bit of that Pear Pizzazz to color in those leaves. Now this is not foolproof because this is not watercolor paper. It's not going to soak in as good as watercolor paper. And I'm also going to have to go back over, like I'm just letting that sit there for a second, and I'll have to go back over that and daub it with the paper towel just to get that excess water up, because I don't want it just sitting there like that, but I kind of want it to soak into the paper. But you can see, if I pull it up, how it's just beaded up on top of where we embossed. And that's exactly what that embossing powder does. It just creates kind of like a little water barrier. So when you are watercoloring, you have lines to stay in. And of course, I had too much water on my brush when I did that. That's why it didn't quite color those leaves in. So I'll dab it off before we get some more for these leaves here. And these leaves as well. Because I want you to be able to see the color. I know we're doing on something that is not white to begin with, so it's going to be a little different anyway. And just dab it, and that'll take any extra color off from your embossing, is what I'm trying to say, and it's not coming out of my mouth. All right, so this is the crushed curry. I kind of want to take that crushed curry and go around the center of the flower a little bit, kind of by the little lines from the center of the flower, I don't know, what are those called? The stamen? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've taken a science class, ladies and gentlemen. And now this is not going to be perfect. But that's the beauty of watercolor, is it doesn't have to be perfect. You just kind of want to get that color on there and just add something to your image. I'm going to dab it just to get it off from that. Set that one aside, and we'll do the rest with the So Saffron. Now we want this to blend in a little bit more, so my brush is a little more wet for this part. And I may end up having to get some more ink on there because, as you can see, I've taken most of that ink off already. And because it's a little wet, the color will be lighter when it goes on here, and that's just fine. But I'm going to want to dab that as well just to get that off. And then I'm going to dry this, add a little more ink. But look how subtle that is now, especially after I dabbed it. It took a little bit of that extra ink off from there. So I think it's going to be just perfect. And I just did the wrong color. I don't want crushed curry. I want So Saffron. All right, let's just clean this block off to make sure I don't, because you don't want to stick a darker ink onto a lighter ink, because that will permanently color your, well, I say permanently, but it will color your ink pad that darker color, and we don't want to add a darker ink into this. All right, so I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to go over that with the brush like this, and then do the second flower. Add a little bit more right there on that one. Although I am kind of liking how light that looks and how that has turned out. What do y'all think? Isn't that pretty? With that watercoloring on that Sahara Sand cardstock, it's a little bit different. Not watercoloring onto Whisper White or watercolor paper, so it's just a little bit different, but it's fun once you have that Whisper White embossing done on there. It really looks gorgeous. All right, so let's see what we have for our sentiments. We have "You're my everything," "You're stronger than most, but even the strong need a shoulder to lean on. I'm here for you. I'm here for you, friend. Praying that this difficult road leads to a beautiful destination. I love you and you are loved." I kind of like that "you are loved." And then I kind of like this little emblem stamp there with the little, just the little geometric shapes I think are pretty. I have paper stuck to my block. Nothing new, right, when you're crafting? All right, let's do the "You are loved" first, and I think I will do it. What do you all think? Do you think I should do it in Crushed Curry? So it's that beautiful yellow color, or should I do it in Memento? Or should I go back and emboss it? I'm not sure how I want to put it on here. I haven't figured that out. So give me some suggestions, and then I will go ahead and get it on there. I kind of, also, we could do it on another little sheet and have it kind of raised up, because we're going to be adding this onto here. So maybe a piece of Whisper White. If we did it on a piece of Whisper White, that would be pretty. So let's do that. Let's do a little strip of Whisper White. I've got lots of 1/2-inch strips because you always have 1/2-inch strips of Whisper White once you start stamping. Hi Diana, how are you? Thanks for joining. We are just trying to decide how to do this sentiment. Basic black or Crushed Curry. Let's do it with Crushed Curry and then see where we get, see if we like it. All right, so "You are loved." That actually does look kind of pretty in the Crushed Curry. What do y'all think? And where should we put it? Should we put it up, to the side, over top of the flowers? Obviously we're going to cut it off from this. It's not going to be this big. Or we could put it even up here on this side. That might be pretty. And then I do want to add these little, let's stamp them on here and just see what they look like. I kind of want these little geometric shapes on here somewhere because I think those are really pretty. Yes, Aunt Sherry, I think the Crushed Curry one, I think it looks really good. And I think I want to have this up here. So let's just cut that. I'm going to cut it in a little banner. Just a slight banner, not really with really long tails on it, but just a slight little banner. And then I am going to stamp these little emblems right here, because those are just really cute. And then we'll put some dimensionals on that when we put this all together. Let's grab a piece of Sahara Sand. I feel like this is already 4 1/4, but let's make sure it might not be quite 4. It might be a little bit bigger. It's a little bigger, so let's cut it at 4 1/4, and then we will get it here at 5 1/2. It's going to be really pretty. I'm so excited about this card. Complete opposite of the bright card we did at the beginning, and I will show you that one in just a minute because probably once I'm done with this card, I will be done for tonight because I want to come back on tomorrow and I don't want to use all of my creativity at once, right? We have to spread it out. We have a lot of days that we're going to be indoors and doing lots of crafting things. If you want to join an online class, I would love to have you. I just posted, or it's posting in the morning, I don't remember, but I'm going to do my April regular card class all online. So it's $15 or free with a $25 order. And what you will get is enough supplies to make 4 cards. And if you're not local, I will mail them to you. If you're local, you can come pick them up. Let's get some dimensionals on the back of this. And then you will get an exclusive video. Like I don't know if I'm going to do a Facebook group or just have a video link that you can go to on YouTube. I'm putting a lot on here apparently as I'm talking, so a little bit of an overload with my dimensionals. But anyway, you will get access to the video, and you can either, I'll let you know when I'm gonna be doing it live, and you can watch it live, or you can just watch it later when you are ready or once you've gotten your card supplies, because I'll probably make the video at the beginning of the month. And then if people join throughout the month, obviously they won't have the live video, they will just have the recorded version. So there's that. Let's get a couple of dimensionals on the back of this because this is going to need a couple of dimensionals on there as well. Oh, thank you for sharing, Diana. I appreciate that. And then we'll just bring this over to the right just a little bit. So the tail of the banner hangs off from this little piece. And then we're going to need a piece of Whisper White for the inside. And then maybe we can stamp those little geometric lines that I think are really cute on the inside of this as well. Let's grab that. Crushed curry, we'll use that again because I'm really liking that color lately. We'll add those little guys right at the bottom. I think those, I don't know why I like those so much right now, but they're really cute. I really like them. All right, so there's our second card for tonight, the final card for tonight. Maybe we can we'll use those basic pearls again, like we did on the first card. We'll add a couple of, we'll probably just use the smaller ones on this since this is all raised up already. And this will probably be a card that will go through the mail, where the other card, if you didn't see me at the beginning, I'm going to pull it out here in just a second. Definitely is not a mailing card because it would be a little difficult to mail. It would get really squished. So here's the first card, or the second card, and here's the first card we did with the butterfly duet punch with all the butterflies, and we just added lots of little pearls on that one. But I can't even choose my favorite for today. You can choose a favorite if you like. You can make either of these that you want at home now, because now you can go back and rewatch the video. I hope you enjoyed watching tonight. I will definitely be back tomorrow night, probably around the same time, 7:15, 7:30-ish, and we'll do something else with some other stamp sets. I'm going to try to mix it up every night and use different stamp sets every night. I appreciate you joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Have some fun crafting between now and tomorrow night. Come back with some ideas because I'm going to want some suggestions. I thank you for joining. I will talk to you later. Bye.